More than 100 hikers have died in the mountains of Italy this summer? What the heck is going on? It's like, that's worse than Mount Everest numbers, people. Okay, let's talk about it on the show today.
There it is. Oh my god. What do you think of that?
I'll watch the video later. Share the Weather Dude YouTube channel. Hit like, share, subscribe, tell a friend. I'm your mountain man here to talk about things mountain-like. Maybe become a channel member if you wouldn't mind. Maybe join the Patreon. Okay, let's get going. More than 100 hikers have died in Italy this summer. What the heck is going on? On average, 3 hikers died every day through the summer in Italy's high peaks. What the heck is wrong with you people? Here's a guy getting rescued. Okay, Italy's picturesque mountains have a upturn in tourism this year. People are going to Italy, I guess, because America sucks so bad. And that's gotten a staggering increase in fatal accident. Roberto Bolza, the vice president of Italy's national rescue organization, Corpo Nazionale Soccorso Alpino e Spelegico Loco, I can't say that, told outside more than 100 people have died at the country's peak since June 1st. 3 days. 3 a day. Okay, it's a dramatic figure, Bolza says. Deadly falls and accidents is part of a growing trend. This past 10 years, they carried out as many rescue operations as the first 60 of its history. Wow, most of the incidents have involved hikers. He said they're similar to ones you see in a typical year: slips and trips and falls on challenging terrain, sudden illness, cardiac arrest, rock climbing accidents, and situations caused by rapidly changing weather or lack of proper clothing because they have no caribou weather dude in Italy, because the caribou is right here in the middle of British Columbia, which is probably as big as Italy, the caribou is. Maybe bigger, actually. The caribou's huge. And some of the deaths, overconfident tourists ventured off trail, got lost in steep technical terrain. So what's happening is, as people become more and more city-like, more and more staring at phones all the time, more and more living in the grid life, they don't pay attention to anything going on, and they've lost survival skills and wilderness skills and mountain skills. And I'm telling you that this is a factor. It's not just that there's more people, it's that there's more people without skills out there. They're not putting the effort in to get the skills, people. Becoming a good mountaineer isn't something you do in a day. I'm 46 now. I've spent 26 years of my life climbing mountains, okay? There's serious alpine trails. They come into them, they got the casual mindset. They're just there for a stroll in the park, and they're like staring at their phones and, talking about this and worrying about what they're going to eat tonight. Being out in the mountains is a life or death place to be, my friends. You got to have your head on a swivel at all times and know what's going on. Let's move my thing over here. You got to be very aware, very, very planning, very, very thoughtful about every action you do, because each action can lead to another series of choices. And it's like, if you have a series of choice lead to series of choice lead to series of choice, and you keep picking the wrong choice, the end result could be death. Okay, a 30-year-old hiker attempted to ascend a 12,000-foot peak wearing tennis shoes. He called for aid after being stuck on the peak during the night. It's a 12,000-foot peak. Dudes, the highest I've ever climbed is 11,635 in the Canadian Rockies. So this guy's going higher than I've ever climbed in. I don't know how many hundreds of mountain climbs I've been on. How many times have I been on top of a mountain peak? It's crazy, and not just hiking. I mean, I go up there all the time for work. In the past, I've had work fire seasons where I'm on mountain peaks all over the place. I go up there to watch thunderstorms. I go up there to catch. They go up there to get firewood. I'm on the mountain peaks here all the time. Okay, and I've only been on one mountain that comes close to 12,000 feet, and this guy's up there walking around in tennis shoes. Okay, another incident: 2 Korean hikers in their 60s embarked on Via Ferrata, a climbing route with fixed cables and iron steps that requires users to don climbing gear without harnesses or helmets. All 3 of them live. So they're going to go up there and just climb around on something without any safety gear whatsoever. Others weren't so lucky. A 15-year-old French boy, Liam Rizak, died after he became lost on a hiking trail and slipped and fell in the Val d'Aosta region. In July, a 21-year-old hiker named GL Fortina died after slipping and falling in a trail from Piedmont. Man, these are very young people losing their lives. That's another thing you got to keep in mind. When you're young, you think you can do anything, and you don't understand the danger you're in, or all the fine details you need to be paying attention to. A 60-year-old hiker, though, also died, losing his balance and falling off a trail in Fossa Valley in the Dolomites. Then an 80-year-old died in a similar accident. So we got 60-year-old and 80-year-old just falling off the mountains all over the place there. 3 a day getting stuck up in the mountains. This is crazy, Italy. Statistics for 25 not yet available. The demographic is saying that the most common deaths in the mountains involve Italian men between the age of 50 and 60. So if you're a 50 or 60-year-old Italian man, just go to the beach, okay? Some experts point to the uptick in disasters to climate change, melting ice and permafrost, increases rockfall in the peaks. Yeah, I mean, that's possible a little bit. Sure, like 11 people died when a massive serac on Marmolada Glacier disintegrated, showering a group of hikers with ice and rock. Okay, yeah, like that could be a thing, but I mean, that doesn't explain 3 a day. No, okay. The warming conditions are contributing to in a different matter, though. It's so hot in Italy's lowlands, he said, more and more people are going to the mountains. So that's like somewhere to find some relief going up to the mountains, and that's putting them at risk as well, okay? Sure. Societal dynamics are enticing people to the peaks. It's driven in part by the influence of social media and the growing promotion of outdoor activities. Mountain guides and rescuers who spoke with the Outside, the group who made this article, blame the post-COVID popularity of outdoor recreation. They're blaming COVID for going outdoors being popular. No, going outdoors needs to be popular. This needs to become the popular thing. People need to be going outdoors more and more and more and more and more. And what they need to do is like really deeply go into the realm of not convenience store culture. Let's go to the mountains today. It's like you do when you go to 7-Eleven and get whatever you want. No, we're talking about developing a real sense of what it takes to be living on the land, be part of the land. And that's the thing, is people are very disconnected to that right now. And that's the very thing we need you to become connected to, is this understanding of how to survive. We had a big increase of people visiting after the pandemic. People without the necessary experience have started to enter the mountains. Okay, that's sure, yeah, but you can't blame COVID when you have a tourism industry that's trying to get people to come to the mountains, right? So it's kind of ridiculous for me to say for people to sort of gaslight some other reason that people are trying to come to the mountains. Meanwhile, they have advertising campaigns. Come to the mountains of Italy. We want your tourism dollars. So come on, which is it? There's commercial climbing gyms, the exposure of the Olympics, the success of documentary films. These climbers have experienced in indoor gyms, but don't know how to tackle challenging routes on peaks. That's absolutely true, I'm sure, too. Just because you can climb on a wall doesn't mean you know anything about mountaineering. And I say this, too, because, what I've noticed over the years is that there's people who involve themselves in extreme sports in the mountains, and that does give you lots of time in the mountains, sure. But just because you go down a ski hill really fast on a snowboard doesn't make you a mountaineer, doesn't make you a mountain person. Just because you can scale a rock wall doesn't make you a mountaineer. No, not at all, actually. Climbing ability is useful for being a mountain man, for being a mountaineer, for being a hard wilderness person, but that is not the only place that... You get what I'm saying? That's just one skill you need, okay? Just because you can climb doesn't mean that you know what the hell you're doing, okay? Other people began to think everything on ChatGPT it's not a tool for mountain advice, for routes, or for planning. If you have to ask ChatGPT how to get around the mountain, you need more time. You need to build yourself up slowly, going on each adventure a little bit bigger than the next, okay? Spend more and more time out there getting used to every little detail. Read, ask lots of questions, go with people who are experienced and experts. Reliance on technology distracts people from the danger as well. I even found this yesterday. I'm looking at the radar and not... I'm trying to guess what the thunderstorm's going to do. I'm looking at the radar, and then it dawned on me, the radar is 5 or 8 minutes behind. And I was like, snap. That's when I stopped relying on gadgets at that point, and for the rest of the day I just chased visually, and that's how I got my best intercepts yesterday. Out of 5 thunderstorms I chased was by visually seeing them. There's good information on the internet. People like Joey Only Care About Weather Dude, it says right here, give it to you. It doesn't say that. Give it to you. There's many false or inaccurate sources people trust and suddenly find themselves in an awkward situation. That's true. I remember remember the Germans there in Squamish? They what did they do? They shit their pants because someone told them, some German survival guru told them that, if you're cold, then defecate in your pants because your feces is warm. But then, after 3 days of being lost in the mountains, they just were, full of cold and frozen shit. I just went and looked for that article. It was from like 2005 or 6 or 7 or something like that when that happened. I can't find it, but that doesn't mean it didn't happen. I know it happened. I remembered it quite well. The Germans there, they shit and pissed in their own pants. Anyways, back to what does this expert have to say about this article? If you go with a guide, you are more safe, Vallada says. I'm a guide, so maybe I'm biased. So here's the guy saying, like, people are in danger out there because they're not paying me. Okay, no, okay, Vallada, you're cheap. Cheap self-promotion there. International clients arrive underprepared for conditions in the Alps, where rain, sleet, and snow can fall in all months of the year. Sometimes we meet in the morning. My clients have a t-shirt, shorts, and a pair of trainers. I say this to people. They're like, they come into Wells in August. I'm like, make sure you bring sweaters or a winter coat. And they're like, why? It's July. I'm like, yeah, it's July in Penticton where you're from. They see at the moment the weather's super nice. It's warm, but they don't realize conditions can change super quickly. Negligence has consequences, though. CNSAS charges for rescues based on tiered payment structure that takes into account location and severity of the operation. Half of those rescued refuse to pay. So you got rescued, your life got saved, and then you refuse to pay. So you have this like entitlement that thinks like, well, people should just come and foot the bill for my fucked up mistakes. Why should it be my fault? Some American search and rescue organizations, which are seeing a dramatic surge in distress calls, ask for similar fines to be levied on negligent hikers. I have some mixed opinions on this. Yeah, in some cases, though, I think it's true. If you completely got yourself into trouble just being completely stupid, and there is like warning signs saying go no further, and you keep going, I think you should have to pay for that. When you go off trail on a mountain resort and then you have to get rescued and then you're like, sorry, you went past the sign that said do not go off trail. I'm not saying you shouldn't. I mean, a lot of you are great skiers and you're going to do that shit anyways. I'm just saying, like, why is it our fault as a society to pay for that? Why should our taxes pay for your mistakes? And I believe that taxes should fund these organizations, search and rescue organizations, fully. I'm just saying that there needs to be a little bit of a pain involved if you're going to get yourself into a situation that is clearly one that you should have avoided at all costs. So use caution, this and that, and monitor weather forecasts. People like Joey Only Caribou Weather Dude. More than 100 hikers dying in a summer. That's just so fucking wild. I can't believe it. Be safe out there. I'm hoping with the warm weather next week, I'm going to get out and do some mountaineering on myself. And hopefully Bob and them, Quinnell Sar, don't have to come rescue me. I told them never come rescue me in the first 24 hours. I said, like if I'm out there and it's getting dark, wait till the morning. I'll be fine overnight. Don't put yourselves at risk for me. But as for the rest of you, you know what? Most times I've got myself into trouble out there. What do you mean most times? I've always got myself into trouble. I've never needed rescue. Hundreds and hundreds of times on the mountains. Okay. And lived in the mountains for many, many years myself. Okay. Anyways, that's the show for this morning. I got brand new storm chasing videos coming up for you. Hope you enjoy them. Talk to you later. Ciao.